Hey guys, what's going on? So, as you may know now, the Last of Us remake just got announced. Wanted to just go ahead and give my thoughts on it, hop on the mic here. Sorry if my voice sounds a little scratchy, been sick a couple days. Anyway, let's get into this. The Last of Us remake, it looks freaking stellar. The graphics just got such a great boost, like the characters, and just the lighting, the shadows, everything looks so much better. And I think as a massive fan of the original, it's just, awesome seeing the game, like, have new life brought into it. I just think the graphics are freaking great. And they also said they should be improving the gameplay, which that'll be interesting to see if they include, like, dodging as a mechanic like they had in part 2, that kind of thing. We'll just have to see what they do with that. It would be kind of weird, though, just seeing Joel, like, jumping around, dodging, crawling around on the floor. I'm probably not the only one that would have a hard time imagining that. Yeah, I'm probably going to end up getting the Firefly Edition. What am I saying? I pre-ordered it already. And for me, that the kind of deal's worth it. It's one of the best games ever made. And just playing it again with new graphics, new gameplay, that's going to be worth it for me. I don't know about you guys, how much you love the game, but this is one of my top 5 for sure. And it's just definitely going to be worth the price. Some of the, steelbook comics, that kind of thing that come with the special edition, those will be cool. And it's just good to be playing as our fine old redneck Joel again, after all. Now, back to the graphics. There's just so many great details. Like, you can see already, like, the light in the character's eyes. That looks awesome. It's just kind of adds emotion in the moment. I mean, in a way, it's kind of like, it's weird, because in the original, their eyes weren't like that. It almost looks like they're, like, tearing up now. It's a little, like, excessive, but we'll just have to see how it plays out in the scenes, if it, affects that or not. And, another thing I did notice is that some of the textures actually do look worse. Like, on the remastered version, you would see Joel's shirt, and it would look, more detailed. And on the new one, it just kind of looks like it resembles the part 2 texture. It's just kind of just a little bit muddied. Overall, part 1 definitely does look better than remastered, but, like, there's certain details that were better in part 1, and remastered. So the thing about, like, the first game, though, is just that, what I love about it is it just feels so at a peace. Like, it never needed a sequel. That's the thing about it. It tells a complete story on its own. It never had to have a sequel. And, coming back to that with part 1, it's going to be the whole remake. It's going to be nice. I'm just going to stop calling it part 1, because that's just getting confusing now. Anyways, if you want to know my thoughts on The Last of Us 2, I mean, the gameplay's excellent, but I'm not a fan of the story. It loses the magic of the original, It needed to focus on Joel and Ellie the entire time, and Joel's in maybe 10% of the game. And it's just like, what? You're gonna give half the game to a brand new character? It just doesn't feel it doesn't feel like it aligns with the original intent of the first game. It just, when everyone was looking forward to a second Last of Us, they were not looking forward to playing someone else. They wanted to play more Joel, more Ellie. It's just a massive waste of potential that we didn't get that Joel and Ellie sequel. Now, people say it would have been too close to the original, but, I disagree. There's a lot of game sequels out there, a lot of movie sequels that have the same characters, and they don't get old at all. They just find new things to do with those characters. Back to The Last of Us 1, though, like, the original even, without this new 2022 remake, I'm gonna go over why I think it's one of the best games of all time. The soundtrack is amazing. There's just so many great tracks to accompany every scene. It just works really well. At the time, the gameplay was really fresh and unique as well. Like, there's there's just so many features like bricks and bottles and picking up melee weapons and scavenging the environment that they've been done before in games, but never to this extent, never in this kind of unique way. Another thing is that at the time, this was like industry-leading graphics. It did not get better than this. And that was, that really did help the game at the time. And I mean, it still looks good to this day. But we're going to kind of get that sense again with the remake of just like this game with the best graphics of the industry, and that's going to be really great to experience. Another thing I really liked about this game is just the world is very immersive. It really gets you into it. Like, there's people that speedrun this game, and I just am confused as to how they even do it, because this game is just constantly sending you the message, Joel, old man, slow, walk around, take it easy. It's just freaking awkward seeing people running through every level. It just doesn't make narrative sense, and it's just very awesome how the narrative's that strong that you don't want to rush through the game. And of course, the biggest reason this game is, under such high regard is just how incredibly well written and satisfying the story is. You can make an argument for Last of Us Part 2 having some well-written scenes, but it definitely doesn't have a satisfying story. That story kind of runs around in circles and doesn't really leave you with any sense of finality. It just kind of, it kind of ends. And the first game just felt a lot more complete and satisfying in that sense, which is a big reason why a lot of people like it more, me included. When this remake comes out, though, it's gonna, comes out September 2nd. That's about 2 months away. It's gonna be really cool. Just experiencing it all again. But it's gonna feel fresh. And there might even be expanded, like, exploration. Not sure how that's gonna work, because it seems like they're gonna not add any new dialogue or anything. And if they add more exploration, then there's just going to be no dialogue in the new areas. Wouldn't really make sense. I think they might end up just fleshing out the areas that already exist a little more, if anything. But personally, I wouldn't really have a problem if they just kept the areas the exact same, just changed the gameplay. But yeah, that's about all I have to say. Leave your thoughts on The Last of Us Remake in the comments. You gonna get it? You think it's worth it or not? Did you like part 2? And yeah, I'll see you next time. Peace out.